Nate, you have a presenter for
Yes, I
Max
have.
Pike installation?
Yes, I have two sacrificial. I have two sacrificial lambs, Jason and Paul.
Hi.
If the board remembers,
Wow, do you guys have a new uniform at the high school, by the way? Man, I'm telling
We
you.
see their shoes.
It's really about uniforms at the high school.
just to preset it,
Where's your bandana?
No bandanas.
if you remember, at budget time, we discussed the possibility of instituting parking permits at the high school. And we indicated to you that we'd be coming to you in the springtime with a proposal to address that issue. So with that as background, Jay and Paul, the Blues Brothers, obviously.
Well, as Nate mentioned, we're exploring possible revenue sources, and assistant principal, Mr. Dutton, is responsible for parking at the high school. So what he did was conduct some research with other Class L schools, and has designed a proposal for the board's consideration this evening.
Londonderry High School is currently one of the few only Class L schools that do not charge for parking. I did a little research and looking at some of the surrounding schools. Pinkerton Academy charges $35 for a parking permit. Alvern charges $25. Nashua, North and South, charge $100 per year. Merrimack is $50 per year. After researching the area schools, we are recommending the following proposal. A parking permit should be $50 a semester, $50 a year, or $25 a semester. Special circumstances such as temporary parking permits, seasonal permits for sports will be prorated. Students would continue to fill out the application for a parking permit. Once approved, they need to submit the $50 fee along with the normal required paperwork in order to receive a parking sticker. This fee would apply to any student that's parking on school district property. Students that are on the free or reduced lunch plan would have their parking permit fee waived accordingly, like LHS does with the adult education program. A free lunch plan would be 100% covered by the high school, and a reduced lunch plan would be 50% covered by the high school. Students who no longer want or need their parking permit will receive a prorated refund of that for that current school year. Students who have parking permits revoked for any reason, as stated in the contract, will not be issued a refund. This will be included on the parking permit application, the parking contract, and the student handbook, and online on our website under parking information. This fee will generate potential revenue of $20,000 based on the approximately 400 student parking spots that are on school property. This will help offset the cost of the parking monitor. And I'll open it up to any questions.
One thing I want to point out is that the parking permit fee is applicable only to the high school main lots, not the, where are we? Nelson lot. We're over there. That's right.
The rec courts.
John?
Hi, could you give me a sense, you said that we're one of the few Class L schools, one of the only Class L schools that doesn't currently charge a fee. Are there others, and who are they?
The ones listed here are the local ones.
These are the ones that charge a fee. I'm asking if there are any that don't.
It was us and I believe Winnicott.
Okay. The criteria, if I'm recalling, for getting a parking permit involves things such as class year, activities you participate in. What are the other criteria?
Activities that they're involved in, their class rank, if they're in the top 10%. Also, their scores on kneecap can get them a point on the 3 sections of the kneecap.
Preface this by saying it's designed on a point system, and you have
Yeah.
to acquire so many points to be eligible for them.
So, I guess my concern is if students are currently earning the privilege of getting a parking permit by participating on the football team and the student government and 6 or 8 other things, and that puts them at the top of the list, they're going to get bounced for that. They're going to get bounced from that achievement if they don't ante up $50. I'm not comfortable with that. I mean, admire the idea of finding ways to get money to increase revenues. I'm a little concerned about beginning to have people pay to use facilities, even if the funding is going to a parking monitor, out of fear that the next thing could be, as I mentioned to George, paying to use the athletic fields or something like that, even if the money does go to a coach. And I'm not suggesting this is a backdoor attempt to do that or any such thing. It's just that it's one of the reasons why I don't really support the idea. But thank you.
Anyone else?
No, I'm fine with it.
The only thing I had an interest in is because of the impact of this change, I had an interest in making sure that the community was noticed about this and had a chance for a conversation. I'd ask, but do we have anyone that's here tonight from the public that would like to talk? If you can come to the microphone, Bob, and just your name and address. You're our first visitor in 3 or 4 years, other
Well,
than Reed.
I'm sorry to hear that. Robert Saar, 4 Mountain Home Road. And I will say up front that I have a senior in the high school who currently enjoys a parking pass. I have a freshman in the high school I hope one day will enjoy a parking pass. Actually, my freshman does say, and to John's point, that one of the points of pride he takes over his older sibling is that he thinks he's going to get more points towards parking than his older siblings because of his involvement. I should know this question. I should know the answer to this question because of my friends on the town council. Does the town council charge you to park in their seats here?
No, we're keeping them warm for them.
The facility exists, it's a fine facility, much like the parking lot across the street. It's here. The maintenance, the lights, the heat, the vacuuming, and occasionally I think when you guys need to be kept in line, there needs to be a monitor here for you, gets paid for by the town. The school board doesn't pay for parking here. And I think it's very similar to the students. The students are required to show up for school. There's already a point system in place to reward the students to encourage them to earn one of those parking places, whether you're an upperclassman when it gets a little bit easier, excuse me, or whether you're an underclassman and you take pride in your schoolwork, in your achievement.